a social justice and human rights organization rooted in activism and community-led moments. And what do we have here, y'all? This is a community-led movement. I am honored to be here with you all today as we stand together to fight for just pay. I've worked in human services in New York for 3 decades and then some. I have seen firsthand how essential our jobs are for the city, for the success of our city, for the survival of the many vulnerable people that our systems continue to fail. They can't do this work, though, without us now, can they? No. Let me be clear. The human service workforce that is doing these jobs is overwhelmingly women. It's overwhelmingly women. And we are overwhelmingly people of color. So the idea of us not getting just pay is not okay. Let me tell you something else. Nonprofits contribute significantly to the New York economy. We provide over 1.3 million jobs and over $96.8 billion in total wages in the state of New York. Yet the state has not funded our work appropriately for decades. What do you feel about that? So what do? They leave us as nonprofits struggling to secure private funding to fill the gaps that are created by this chronic government underfunding. And for decades, our workers have been paid poverty-level wages. What happens then? Many of our workers actually end up qualifying for the very services that we provide to others. That is not acceptable. Is that acceptable? No. What do we want? Just pay. Right. That's right. Our workers struggle with the burden of providing for their families to make ends meet in an economy where costs continue to escalate. Moreover, our workers continue to be paid about 30% less than their government counterparts who do the same job. Where's the equity in that? Is there equity in that? No. So what do we want? Just pay. What do we want? Now. Right. That's right. Let me be clear. We're not asking for charity. We're not talking about living large. What we are asking for is a 2% increase for all human service contracts with the state. 2.7. That's right. That's not going to make anybody here wealthy, but it is going to help us be better positioned to deal with and keep up with the ongoing escalating inflation that we're confronted with. That is the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. We're simply asking that the New Yorkers who help make New York the great place that it is be compensated fairly for their contributions. What do we want? What do we want? Now! With the current threats to our democracy and to our most vulnerable, it is more important now than ever before that the governor and the state act to give us what? Justice! To fund those of us who are on the front lines, caring for our communities and protecting New Yorkers. We need our government to just pay. What do we want? What do we want? Just pay. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Just pay. When do we want it? Now. That's right, y'all. Okay, so Now, to kick us off, I am really honored and thrilled to be able to introduce Assemblymember Larinda Hooks from Queens. The Assemblymember comes from the nonprofit sector. She understands what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, providing quality services to our community members and our neighbors, and struggling to make ends meet. We are thrilled to have her supporting this campaign to get us just pay and the 2.7% increase across the board that we need from the state. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. As a mother of five who raised her 5 children on working in the human services sector with OPWDD, as well as had 4 senior centers. You know, sometimes people don't understand the direct impact that we have in the human services world on families. Human services world means there's a human touch. And what I've learned is when we're dealing with those 2 populations, most of the times families aren't here. Either they moved away or they just can't help with the individual anymore. So who becomes that direct contact? It is us. We bring the human touch, we bring the human element, and there's just no way that we do not get the same pay. We are supposed to be here. We are taking care of your families. We are taking care of your families. We are taking care of everyone's families as well as our own. But it hits different when you come home and you can't afford your bills and your rent and everything else, but you are here helping somebody else to pay their bills. So we should be able to be looked upon as a key essential service, which we were during COVID. Even though we weren't deemed so, we were so. And so we should be able to get our fair share of pay. We should be getting our COLA. We should be getting all our increases. We should not be paid less because we are the first line of service to our individuals that we serve. I stand with you. I stand with you. I stand next to you. I stand behind you because we are going to say, just pay us. Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Assemblymember Hooks, y'all, give it up for her. And remember that name because she is an ally and a partner in this struggle. I also want to take a moment to give a quick shout out to Senator Salazar and Senator Persad, who are unable to be here with us today or right now. Julie's actually stuck on the train, but who are supporting our efforts to get what? Justice! Get what? Now! That's right. So I'm going to keep us moving along. Actually, we want to move on to hear from Miguel Rios. Miguel is a senior case manager at Safe Horizon, and he can speak directly to some of the issues that our workers are dealing with on a daily basis. Thank you so much, Miguel.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Miguel Rios, and I'm a senior case manager with Safe Horizon, the largest victim service agency in the United States. Every year, more than 250,000 survivors of violence, abuse, and exploitation seek safety and support through our services. And our hotlines answer over 100,000 calls annually from people in crisis. Today, I stand in Albany with my fellow human service workers as part of the Just Pay campaign, a movement to ensure that those who support our most vulnerable New Yorkers are paid a fair, livable wage. The Just campaign has been clear. Human service workers continue to receive poverty-level wages, even though we provide essential life-saving services that keep our communities safe and stable. At Safe Horizon, my colleagues and I work with survivors every day. Survivors of homicide, domestic violence, gun violence, child abuse, sexual abuse, and human trafficking. We accompany them through housing crisis, court proceedings, safety planning, and countless moments of trauma and uncertainty. We are a lifeline in some of the darkest moments of their lives. but we provide that lifeline. We must have a stable, supportive workforce. When workers are unpaid, high turnovers and burnouts follow. And that instability directly impacts survivors who need consistent, trusted support. Organizations across the human service sectors have explained how fair wages help sustain staff, uplift communities, and ensure community continuity of care. Just pay is not as simple about salaries, not as simple as about salary. It's about safety, it's about healing, it's about dignity. It's both survivors and people who serve them. When a victim of violence reaches out to help, they deserve a response from a trained, experienced professional who can stay in this work long enough to walk them towards stability. Fair pay is just what makes that possible. Today, we are just here to demand wages. Today, we are here not just to demand wage equity, but to remind our state leaders that New York's commitment to public safety must include investments to the people who deliver these services every single day. Human service workers are the backbone of the city and state. We must support our families through crisis. We help rebuild lives, and we strengthen communities. We are essential, and it's our time. Our conversation reflects that truth. We stand together as Human Service State Advocacy Day, and I asked our legislators to provide full funding for just pay in the state budget. Support this campaign means supporting Safe Horizon and other human service organizations. It means supporting survivors. It means investing in a safer, healthier future for all of New Yorkers. Thank you.
Give it up for Miguel, y'all. Give it up. So I want to take a quick minute. We've got workers from all across the state here with us today, showing the true power of just pay. So I want to extend a special thank you to the Human Services Council for bringing us all together today. I also want to acknowledge a couple of our key partners, Nonprofit Westchester. Where you at, Nonprofit Westchester? The Human Services Leadership Council of Syracuse. The Council of Agency Executives. And the Supportive Housing Network of New York. Okay, next we want to hear from one more speaker. Henry Brigham is the founder of Devin's Rec Room. Henry, come on up and tell us your story. Give it up for Henry!
Thanks. Hi, my name's Henry Brigham. My wife Barbara and I founded Devin's Rec Room after our son Devin passed away from a heroin overdose in 2001. Even though I'd been in recovery 33 years myself. We're a small grassroots sober active recovery organization in Central New York. Think of like a gym, yoga center, /wellness center, and community center all wrapped up into one. After years of trying to get Devin's Rec Room off the ground, we had our ribbon cutting in Syracuse a little less than a year ago. And in that short time, we've managed to have more than 450 members self-identify as being in recovery and sign up for our services. One of those members, Cameron, is in his early 30s. He's under medically assisted treatment, and when he first joined, would walk 3.5 miles from getting his medication to spend a day with us so he wouldn't be on the street. He just celebrated his 11th month of sobriety. Another member, Austin, who just turned 30, has struggled. After 6 months of sobriety, he relapsed, but returned 2 months later to rededicate himself. Since then, he's reconnected with his faith, and last month, Barbara and I went to his baptism at the church across the street from Devin's Rec Room. Yet a third member, Karen, who just turned 60 years old, takes her lunch hour twice a week to come to fitness classes and is our biggest cheerleader ever. All this we've done with only one employee because we can't afford anymore. Jerry, who is in recovery and has quite a story himself. Jerry doesn't mind being our only employee as he gets Employee of the Month every single month. Now, every single agency behind me has stories like this. But stories don't pay the bills. We have only one employee because that's all we can afford. And only 6 or 7% of the Office of Addiction Services and Supports goes to small people and goes to people in recovery. The rest goes to prevention and treatment. They're really, really needed, but it's like we help them win the battle and get sober, and we don't help them win the war, which is the rest of their lives. And we aren't the only small grassroots organization like ours in upstate New York. There's Recovery Fitness in Rochester. And right here in Albany, there's Hive of Hope that's founded and run by a friend of mine, Nate. We're all struggling and living month to month just to supply services. That's why we're here fighting for New York State to increase this year's TII into a minimal, reasonable cost of living, just to keep up with inflation. That's all we're asking for. We're asking for a decent pay. I come from the for-profit sector. Hardly anybody in for-profit would work for what these people are working for right now. Anything short of that, and small grassroots organizations like ours would be losing money and may even have to close, despite the hundreds of real people we can help. People like Cameron would just say, "Justice!" People like Austin would just say, "Justice!" People like Karen would just say, "Justice!" And even Jerry, our only employee, you bet he just said, "Justice!" Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know how you followed that, but that was pretty amazing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Let's show our folks some love. All right, y'all, we're wrapping this up. I also want to extend a special thank you to Assembly Member Patrick Carroll, who stopped in earlier to join us. I'm going to go off script here for a second. First of all, y'all are the bomb. You're the bomb. We see you. New York needs to see us. All right, we're going to close out with another chant, y'all. Maria's going to help me. She's good. Just pray. What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice!